I'm Brett and I work in the digital media team here at Buckinghamshire New University. We're proud to be presenting our fourth episode in our brand new podcast series, It Begins With Us, where our students will be talking about their experiences and giving advice on a range of hot topics. In the latest episode, I chat with a few of our international students about why they chose to study at our university, the challenges they faced moving from their home country to a brand new environment, and the various things they learned while studying in the UK. So, let's begin. All right, thanks guys for joining this international podcast. We're just going to go around in the group to introduce ourselves. So, who wants to start? Let's start with Francisco.
Hi, I'm Francisco. I'm a marketing student at Bucks. I'm Portuguese and I'm a third year.
Hi everybody, my name is Candela and I'm from Spain. I'm studying business and psychology. Well, I'm already done. I submit my dissertation, so I'm a graduate student, I could say.
Hi everyone, I'm Bianca. I'm a third year student at creative advertising and I'm from Portugal.
Hi everyone, I'm Dominika. I'm from Poland and I've just submitted my final major project. I do fashion design.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a really nice mixture there, guys, as well. So the first thing I wanted to ask really is what made you want to study at BNU? What was it that made you choose our university?
For me, it was my course because I saw it was one of the best in the UK. So, of course, I had to try and go for it. And also because I came to an open day and I saw that the tutors were really there for us. They were explaining everything and it was very personal. So I really liked it because our uni is small, but that's what makes it good. Because I remember going to some unis in London and the classes were too big. It was like 150 students. And I thought that I needed something more personal. So that was one of the reasons that I came to this uni.
Yeah, I think that was really important for everybody, like small classes. Like for me, it was really important to be in contact with the lecturers, like really like personal advice in like contact with everybody, small classes. I feel like that was a good reason for me too.
I just wanted to say that facilities were just great because I was looking at fashion design courses, so it was important for me to know that there's, the workshops areas are really well equipped, and I had an opportunity to come to Buckinghamshire Uni and see how it looks like. And when I've seen Red Shirt, it just blew my mind how big it is and spacious. So and I just made a decision on the spot really that I'll definitely apply here because of the equipment.
For me, I also saw before I came to the uni that we have a free students union and we have loads of free activities. We have societies from all types of people that we can imagine. And that was also one reason that made me come to uni. Also that it's small, like Candela and Bianca said. And also that it's close to London. We just have the train in half an hour within London. Yeah,
it's really great. I wanted to touch on a couple of those points, if that's all right. I just wondered, Bianca, when you mentioned the open day and that the everyone was, approachable, I imagine. And what was it about the open day that we really liked? Was it the fact that they were there for you, or that we provided something which was a bit more interactive maybe than other universities? Or
yeah, especially the student ambassadors, which I thought it was super good to get us in the student environment, because I feel like I was kind of scared also being from another country to come. I was alone. And just having someone my age to come to me and like ask, is everything okay? Do you want me to show you around? That was really good. And I remember my first contact with a student ambassador was super good. That's why I wanted to become one. And actually, that person really helped me throughout the years. So I really wanted to do the same for students, for new students and freshers that come. So I felt like that was really good. And also, as you said, it was really interactive. We had a lot of things. I remember when I was already working as a student ambassador, we had this open day that had like small things like popcorns and a policeman being there, and he was showing us his car and everything. Like these things really matter, and it's something that you really remember after. So that was the thing that I most like about open days.
Cool. And we go from like the little things like that you mentioned to probably the bigger things like the Red Shed that you mentioned, Dominika. And that really stood out to you. So when you first saw that stood out to you as quite a good facility compared to other places that you'd looked at or potentially thought about?
Yeah, so I also visited a couple of universities in London, and in comparison, it was just way bigger. And also the fact that everyone had its own desk, and I knew that the students weren't just packed on a one table. Yeah, it's just such a big plus, especially when you do like creative design projects. So yeah, that made me made a decision about books.
Brilliant. So obviously, Buckinghamshire University is in the UK, but I wondered what made you choose the UK and not another country, because you looked at our university and really liked it, but you could easily have chosen so many other countries and so many other universities. So what was it about the UK that appealed to you specifically before you looked at our university?
Well, in my case, I came from America. I did 1 year studying in America, and then I came back to Spain. And then I was looking for unis, and I was like, you know what? I want to keep improving my English, keep studying in English. England was a good option, closer to home, cheap flights, and in 2 hours I'm home. So that was the main reason why I decided to come to England. Also, I like it, so I'm happy here.
Yeah, it's also a place where a lot of people come to, so a lot of international. So I know there was a diversity in here. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I know I'm going to learn English, but I'm going to learn a lot more. So I feel like it's a place where everything meets. And that was one of the reasons that I came here as well.
Yeah, for me, it was the language also. So it was the language I was most comfortable with, was English, and I wanted to improve it as well. And it's also like Candela, it's close to home. It's 2 hours and a half, and I can buy plane tickets for £15 and I'm home.
It's a big reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Linking on from that, obviously it is a big change going from your home country to a completely different country. So how does it feel to leave your hometown and leave it behind and suddenly live in a brand new environment? So obviously there are so many factors at play there, but just interested in what that experience is like, what it feels like.
It's just exciting. It's like a lifetime adventure, really. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird as well, because of course it's two different cultures, like it's completely different. And also if you meet people from other countries, there are new cultures that you have to understand and learn about, because of course they're your friends, you want to learn more about. But overall, it's really good because we are here for this. We wanted this change. And for instance, for me, I feel like I'm not that attached to my hometown, but I know my friends are. But it's good to know that it's close to home and we can come back whenever we want. So I feel like that helps.
Yeah, like, to be honest, like, it was exciting, but for me, it was hard. Like, I was so scared. Like, I remember in the airport, I was like, I'm not going. I'm staying here. I'm not going. I don't want, like, more changes in my life. I adapt to a new life in a new place, living with new people, meeting people. At the beginning, it was so scary. But once that I got here, I was just like, you know what? This is so cool. Like, uni life is here. It's time for me to open my mind, meet people from all over the world, and that was good, but it was scary, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it definitely looks scarier than it actually is in reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. For me, it was mixed feelings. I was so happy and excited to go, but at the same time, having to say goodbye to everyone that I know, it was really hard. But then I went to the UK, and the first day I was looking everywhere, and I was like, oh, wow, this is so cool, this is so different. I was like, oh, they're driving on the other side of the road, and I was like, so different from everything that I have ever seen in my life. And it was so exciting.
It's like everything just went topsy-turvy for you, really. It's just... Yeah, it must be difficult because it must be the initial apprehension of making that big step. And once you've made that step, as you say, Dominique, it wasn't as hard. The initial thought was harder, but when you actually did it, it was okay. So that's good to hear. That's good to hear that you all adjusted quite well. I imagine you did. Did it take a while to adjust? Did it take a few weeks or a few days?
It was easy for me because I was living in halls. At the end of the day, like, when you live in halls, a lot of people is new, like first years. So you create like a community and you support each other in the middle of all in here are new. We all are like struggling sometimes with new like things, and like we don't know where is the uni. We didn't know how to get to uni. So we kind of supported each other. So living in halls for me was, the first year was important to start like getting to know the place.
I would recommend any student, any first year student, not just international, but also from the UK, to go to halls. For me, it helped me a lot. I met new people. If I needed something, or just have to go to the next door, go upstairs, like there's people from all over the world in the halls. So you are in the same position as other people in the halls.
Yeah, and you would think that you come here alone and you're going to be alone, but that's not true.
Really, yeah.
Because you meet so many people, first from your own country. Like I met Francisco in here. We didn't know each other back in our country. And you just meet people and we just want to help each other. You don't have to know them. You just immediately say, oh, go to this place to buy this thing. So it's really cool because I thought, okay, I'm going to go alone. It's an experience, but I can do it. But actually, I'm not alone. Since day one, there's always someone there, which is really helpful.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like keep passing advices.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know, open a bank account in this place.
Exactly.
There's like good advices that you're passing.
Recommend, because of course, uni gives us that support, and they have in their website where you can get some things, but of course they don't know everything. So by talking with people that pass through the same as us, they went through this, they always give you advice on things, which is really good, and then just pass it on to the next person.
Yeah, sounds great. That's good, and you need to do that because otherwise, you know, if you don't start doing that, you don't build the community, and people are none the wiser with what to do. So that's really good. I mean, regarding that, have you faced any challenges while studying in the UK? Anything that's really feels like an obstacle that you've had to overcome while you've been here?
Yeah, of course, in the beginning, the English, but for me it wasn't that bad. But in the beginning, for instance, to work in here, you have to have your national insurance number, and that takes months, and no one told me about it. I thought it's going to be a quicker process, but that was an obstacle because I really had to work. And of course, as she said, the English, I was scared of like, will they accept me at this job? I was in the course, I was listening to classes, and I was like, oh my God, I don't understand anything of the British accent.
So fast.
I thought I knew English, but then I came here.
Me too.
But this is a good thing because I remember my course leader just, she called me, she was like, Bianca, if we are being too fast for you guys, just let us know. And this is so good because I know that they know that we might struggle with this. So, but this is like only in the first month that you're like adjusting to everything, but I feel like it's normal. But after that, I feel like everything went smoothly.
For me, it was the accent, but also in Portugal, I learned the American English. So, for example, little things on the assignments like color, like words like that, it made a difference at the end of the day because my lecturer was like, no, this is not British English and you need to write in British English. And I was like, yeah.
Dominica, have you faced any challenges that you've had to adjust to?
Well, I think the biggest challenge was actually study and work balance. So university and work balance, actually, to manage the time, you know, the work shift and then assignments at uni. Yeah, I needed to be quite flexible. But I think after a first year, I adjusted quite well to it. So yeah, it was just getting easier and easier after a certain amount of time.
Okay, great. This might have already been touched upon, but I might try and elaborate on it a bit more. But you've mentioned about meeting people, talking, integrating with them, and being able to sort of, adjust to a completely different culture. But taking it to a different angle, how did you sort of acclimatise to a new life in the UK? So did you get actively involved in other communities or societies, and obviously link into the societies at BNU?
Yeah, like being really involved in uni with the SU, like clubs, like we play basketball. I started playing basketball a lot, so I started meeting new people, like just kind of forcing myself to be involved in as many things as I could. So the SU was a big thing. Also going to class, attending to lectures is important. Like, even if it was online, last year I forced myself to like go to lectures and connect to them. So that was important, and that's how I kind of adapt and acclimatize to new life.
Yeah, and uni has a lot of things that let us do that. For instance, like being a student rep. Just being a student rep is really good because you meet new people, you meet the people that are above your tutors, which really connects you with your uni, and you feel like you're making a difference, which is really good. And uni having these jobs like Freshers Helper or Student Ambassador, these help us creating a community within people that are in the university, and also the new ones, the freshers that come, which is really good because then we help them to get involved in everything, because we became friends with them and they were like, oh, have you checked this sport? Have you checked this society? You should go to this. So I feel like this really helps.
So I feel it's really important for students from freshers to go to Freshers Week.
Oh,
Like,
there you
you're
go.
going to meet so many new people.
So you both had the same thought just there, did you?
Yeah, I was just thinking about student union events, and that is really important that you go for the Freshers Week because it's 7 days of partying, but you meet so many people, and then it's so much easier for you to continue your studies because you know people not only from your course but across different courses. So yeah, it's just, you know, it's just so much nicer.
So it's like a really big icebreaker, isn't it?
Exactly.
Just suddenly get thrown in the deep end and you have to get used
Yeah, and SU always cares about like finding some kind of activities to actually make new people talk to each other. So yeah, it's always real fun. Yeah.
Did you have anything to elaborate on that, Francisco?
I was also going to talk about the international student mix that the Students' Union does sometimes, which is really good for international students to be together and share cultures, share experiences. Even sometimes if you are a person who's not comfortable about being with other people, they'll be in the same position as you. So you feel more comfortable than you would feel like in a normal party, because people are from other countries and they are like literally in the same position as you in the UK.
That sounds great, yeah. It's nice to get that varied response as well, to hear all those different things that you actually had to adjust to. It's obviously different people, different challenges. So that's good to hear. Now, going from challenges to actually something more positive and fun. So what have you enjoyed the most about studying your course at BNU? So obviously you all have different courses, so I'm just interested on what specifically you've enjoyed about your specific course.
So about my course, I enjoyed the most was the close relations with industry. We had a lot of talks and workshops with people from the industry, and I think it's incredibly important to make these connections during your university education, not only after. And yeah, it was just always very well organized, and I really appreciate it now because obviously I'm nearly graduated, so I'm looking at jobs and internships and any opportunities, and now I see how the connections I've made during uni are helping me now.
And in fashion industry, Dominique, in the fashion industry, I imagine it's quite a difficult thing to get into. Do you feel that after studying here that you probably have those contacts and connections or those pathways into the career you want?
Definitely. And also first time during these 3 years, what's the most important realization I've made is how many different career pathways I actually have, that it's not only fashion designer kind of thing, as like trend predictor. There's just plenty, like fashion journalist. So I feel like I can apply to much more many more jobs than I thought before I started studying here. Yeah, it was just really eye-opening time for me.
For me, like I said, I'm studying marketing. So since the first year, it was really good for us that we always had live briefs with real companies. So I had contact with the real client, and now I'm going to work, or I'm going to continue studying, and I know how the real world works. I literally work with a company that closed the doors while we were working with them. So I had the real experience of the real world. I was working with a company, and one day we go there and there's a paper on the door saying we shut down, so we're closed forever. That was challenging, but that was good as well because it's how it works.
Yeah, and I would just add that it's super important to get connections and feedback from the industry. Any industry you are in and you're a student and you get feedback from a person from the industry can really push you forward. So yeah, extremely important. Bag's got amazing connections.
Great. Bianca, Candela?
Yeah, what I enjoyed the most and probably struggled the most, it was my dissertation. So I'm doing like business and psychology. So I had the opportunity to be part of two schools, the business one and the humans and science. So in my dissertation, I did like an eye tracking in the lab. It was like a measure of an environmental eye tracking, like emotions. And I loved it. Like I had the opportunity to do that, and all of the students had.
I've just got to say, please see our YouTube channel for that video because it is there.
I was so close to putting in my dissertation, like, please click here in this link to watch my video. I loved my effort. So yeah, probably it's the thing that I enjoyed the most. Of course, I struggled because it was like it's the major project from these 3 years. Dissertation sounds so scary, but I loved it and I'm so happy with it. I submitted and like I loved it, so I'm so happy.
Great.
Yeah, what I enjoyed the most about my course was I was able to work with other courses. I worked with graphic design, I worked with photography, with film students, with students that, with sound students and everything. So it was really good because I got a taste of a lot of courses that I can go into the future, which is really nice. And also, basically, all my briefs were set by real companies that they were coming, and if they liked your idea, they could actually use it, which was really nice. And we used to go to companies and actually present our work to them. So I was basically, in these 3 years, I was basically working in my industry because it really felt like it. And as Dominica was saying, all the contacts that I got, like I have a mentor right now that is working in a company, and he is helping me on my final major project, as in sending me emails with feedback about everything. So I really feel like I'm already working in the industry, which is really, really nice. And everything that the uni offers, like the Red Shed and everything that we can use is really good, because I felt like I didn't only learn creative advertising, I learned everything, how to maneuver a camera, how to edit a video, a picture, everything. So this really helped me.
Sounds great. And because I mentioned to Dominica, but do the rest of you feel like you're ready for the next step? Do you feel comfortable with the next step? And
yeah, I think it's important to mention that uni cared not only about our education, but also to make that bridge in between our education and in the industry. Yeah, really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary, but at some point we have to do, of course, like I'm 20 and it looks so scary that I have to jump to the adult world already, but we will have to do it at some point. And of course, I felt like I learned enough in these 3 years and I could go for it.
Cool, awesome. Now, we briefly touched upon it earlier about the different cultures and the integration from one culture to another. So I just wondered what you learnt about your own culture by living in another one. So what you learnt about your own compared to living in the UK.
Candela will start. This is a good one.
No, I was going to say, appreciate good weather and good food, but now I'm kidding.
He's not kidding.
Come on,
we love England, but of course we have our preferences and it's really different. It was a shock.
I like English breakfast, but the Spanish food is way much better.
I love that. All of England, I like the breakfast, but that's it. Forget everything else. Buxton University and that.
No, in a more serious matter, like, it's true. It was a big difference, of course. Like, it's something that, like, it's food we eat every day. So, of course, it was a little bit hard to adapt. But then you just get used to it. And now we eat more British things. It's true. We cook more and everything. But, yeah.
What I would say... yeah, also, like, the different ways that we, like, socialize and everything. I mean, in Spain, we just scream a lot. We are, like, all the time together. And in here, I feel like each one of us had their own, like, more lives. And then we get together, but then you go back to your own life.
People are more distant.
Yeah.
Which is good. Are more independent. I feel like also is uni life.
And do you feel people are more distant even outside of the pandemic?
Yeah. Also, we have to go through a pandemic that changed a lot of behaviors in a lot of humans. So...
It was British people are often known as being, very insular and very quiet compared to other cultures.
Yeah. I would say that.
Yeah, but I
actually.
feel like around other cultures, they change and they see us and they understand us. I feel like in the beginning, some of my friends that are British, they change so much when they are around me because they know that there's other cultures, like you can be different around other people. And I feel like they got that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, what Candela mentioned about being loud, I remember sometimes we were in Spoons, for example, and we were like, okay, we have to speak a little bit quieter because people are looking at us. We are screaming literally to each other.
And we are not drunk, we are just sober. We just arrived and we are already
We
screaming.
were talking like a normal conversation.
Dominica, have you experienced anything like that from your end?
Well, now I'm thinking, there's not that many differences. I don't think so. But one which I remember first what really struck me was that here when we've got this really small talk about, oh, how are you? I'm good, thank you. How are you? So in Poland, it's a bit different, I think. It's easier to complain in Polish. That like we won't be going for a simple response. I'm good, I'm fine, how are you? We would just go we're more straightforward, so we actually tell you how we're feeling at the moment. So
I'm sad, and you start crying. How are you? I'm so sad.
I'm not good today. You know.
But it's funny because in the UK, people do that, but they do it afterwards. So if someone would say to you, for example, if you're in a restaurant and someone says, how is that? And someone would say, oh, lovely, lovely. And then to their friend, when the waiter's gone, they'd say, oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
So people don't seem to like the conflict, I think, in the UK.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool. So sort of connected to that, but we talked about culture, but let's talk about the individual now. So what did you learn, or did you learn anything new about yourselves during this experience? So anything about you as a person, or about how you function, how you are, how your mood is? Just anything about you as a person that you've really learnt from studying here?
Me, I guess it's like facing changes and problems, like back home if I have a problem. At the end of the day, I have my parents, I have my family supporting me and trying to help me to deal with the problem. In here, I was just like, okay, I don't know how to drive in the right side because I had to drive. And I was so scared. Like, I was just like, I can. My brain is just like... So I had to, like, overcome these fears and be like, you have the problem. You are there. You're gonna, like, by yourself, you can do this. So I guess, like, for me, that was the big change. And, like, how did I, like I learned how to be by myself a little bit.
Exactly. Learn how to be independent and knowing that we can solve our own problems. And it doesn't matter if we are young, because I thought, like, oh, I should wait a year more. I'm too young. I came to the UK when I was 18. So I was super scared. I was like, okay, I never had like a real job. Like I have to manage my money and my time and everything. And if I'm living by myself, I have to support myself, because even being in halls, I was with people, but I was in my room. So I knew, okay, you have to go to work. You have to go to uni. Before I had parents and everything pushing me. So now I had to push myself. And I really thought I wouldn't be able, but I was able, and a lot of people helped me in this way, so it was really good.
Anyone else?
Also, for example, time management, as Bianca said, you cannot just think, I'm here studying, so I can go to the uni whenever I want. No, you have to cook, you have to do laundry, you have to clean the house, you have to clean the room. You are living by yourself, so you don't have your parents here supporting you, so you have to learn how to do it.
Yeah, I've just realised that I can adapt well. That's it, really, to different culture, to different people. Yeah, and as Bianca mentioned, independence, I think it's a good word. That's what I discovered, that I can be independent, actually.
So in a way, you all feel that from this experience, you've actually become self-reliant, and that you can, in a way, look after yourselves, and that you can actually live alone if you needed to.
Yeah, we've double challenge because we're obviously in a different environment. We're not in our own environment, so yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like, of course, you have challenges because it's not easy for me to like communicate in English the same as like Spanish. So if I have to ask for something, in uni or whatever, I would be like, panic time, come on, English, come to me.
Cool. So, thinking about all of that, What advice would you give to any international students who are preparing to study in the UK? So imagine yourself back then when you were about to come out. What sort of advice would you give to anyone who's starting that journey?
I would say ask questions. Because obviously as an international student, I think there is a bit more things to sort out, like admin stuff, really, like national insurance number. So you need to be on top of things. And if you feel like you don't know what to do, there's obviously student centre at uni, so you can just go there and ask, and they will help you out with all of that paperwork, which is really important to get done as soon as possible. Yeah, and also, if you need help, just reach out for it. Uni is a great place where you can find a lot of support. So yeah, I regret so many times I was just like, slightly too shy because I'm international student. I'm not sure if I can do it, but yes, you can. It's there for you. So
yeah, don't be scared of asking questions. Don't think that your question is stupid or something like that, because it's not. Like, everything that you can, just ask. And like, overall, I think stay calm throughout all of these, because things will go your way. Like, I'm sure there's always someone to help you through this, and it's such an amazing experience that if you're worried too much, probably you won't enjoy it as much. But this uni at least helps a lot with international students, especially, which is really good. So I feel like people will always have someone by their sides.
Yeah, also, I think it's really important to say, I don't know about you guys, but I was really self-conscious about my language at the very beginning. So that was also stopping me from asking questions, reaching out for help. I was really scared that, oh no, maybe she won't understand me and she will think that I'm stupid, Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm touching more the emotional part because I felt it, and I was like, it's good to feel homesick, like sometimes, because sometimes when we feel homesick, people is just so sad and really like, I need to go. No, it's okay. Like, it's a good feeling too. That means that you have a home back home that you love, but you just little by little, you just gonna make this your new place, and I'm telling you that it's gonna be so worth it. But let yourself be sad sometimes, or homesick, or having this feeling of, I would like to be home right now in my comfort zone rather than here. It's okay, because tomorrow is going to be a good day, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Also, while you're preparing, I would say don't listen to other people. So I had people telling me like, oh, you're going to the UK, such a different culture, you're not going to adapt. It's going to be so hard. Like, don't be scared. You're going to do it. And it's not that hard. It's not as hard as it seems.
Yeah, and we all have to grow up. Like, our friends that stay in Portugal, they have to go out of their parents' house as well. We just did it a little bit different and earlier, I feel.
With
like
a different
most
culture,
of us,
with everything that we just said.
Yeah, we just wanted a challenge. So of course we can do it, because you're supposed to do this. This is what everyone does. So
get out of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's a perfectly natural progression, but it's just a way of proving that, really, isn't it? And it does sound like the main barrier and the main difficulty has been the language. I think from this podcast so far, it sounds like that's been the hardest thing to adjust to.
Yeah, I would feel like, I mean,
it's just, for me, it's just like sometimes, for example, you have to write an assignment. Okay, 5,000 words in English. It's not gonna come that easily. Like, it's just like I have to think 3 times more. Yeah. So it's like little things like that. But like to communicate in the street, I don't struggle that much. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, let's go for it. If they understand, good for them. If not,
exactly.
I don't know.
Everyone will understand you. And to be honest, half of your friends will be international. So no worries. Everyone will know what you're saying either way, because there's always a similar word in our languages. Everything. So, and with time, of course, you listen to people, to your tutors, everyone. So, of course, your English will improve and it will be better.
Yeah. So I suppose rounding all of that up, what are your individual next steps going forward? So what's your next immediate plan, do you think?
So now, as I finish my final collection, I really need to focus on self-promotion and like strategically promote it on social media and website. So that's what I'm working on right now. There has been a few opportunities actually to promote and present my collection as well. So I'm really looking forward to it, and it's going to take place in London during the summer, and then hopefully I'll just go into industry. I've got a few opportunities, so yeah, just need to make decisions, and probably I will give myself some time as well during this summer to like gather my thoughts and catch up with friends and family. Yeah.
Sounds great, yeah.
I am applying for a master's here in Portugal. I'm still not sure in which university, but I'm doing it this summer.
Yeah, same. I'm gonna take masters in neuromarketing or something like this back home, because it's the one that I liked. If not, I will probably come back to England and try to find a job, and let's see.
Well, for me, throughout these 3 years, I discovered that I like a lot of things and I want to learn more about it, but I want to learn in a different way. Like, I'm not thinking about taking a master's just yet, but just get my CV better. I'm in an arts course, so everything that involves creativity, I will do it. I'm also going to do an internship for a team, which is very good because I can work on my creative content. That's what I want to do in the future. And also, because I feel like the uni helped me a lot, I want to give that back and help new students. So I'm trying to work at the uni, actually. And I don't know, just make life better for students, I guess.
That sounds really good. When you say the uni, Bianca, do you mean our university, BNU?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Well, it really does sound great, guys. Sounds like you've got a great plan. I think it is a good thing to do that, as you say, Dominica, to give yourself some time, because you've all been studying very, very hard and been working so hard and adjusting, which takes so much physical and mental effort to adjust to everything we've just talked about. So I think, a little bit of time to yourself is good. Time to gather your thoughts, to relax a little bit, enjoy the summer, but also to focus on the future too, which sounds like you've all got that in hand. So I suppose, just to round up, finally, do you have any last thoughts about what we've discussed? Any last little comment that you want to give out to anyone listening to this podcast?
Just go for it.
Good luck.
It's a good experience. Good luck to everybody. Like,
you can do this for sure, because this
support.
is what we meant to do.
Yeah, find support, find friends, and
make connections. That's really important. Even if you feel like you can do everything by yourself, it's always good to have.
It's so worth it. It's really, really worth it. So
cool. Well, I think that's a nice moment to end on. So, Bianca, Candela, Dominica, Francisco, thank you very much for joining today, and
Thank you.
Good luck in your endeavours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's where our International Students podcast draws to a close. Many thanks to our contributors, Candela, Bianca, Francisco and Dominica. We all hope that this conversation has helped in some way and has been beneficial to anyone thinking of studying in the UK or at our university. For more information, please take a look at our website, bucks.ac.uk, and look out for our next episode of It Begins With Us, which will be coming soon.